again, I'm going to give you one more example of solving a polynomial equation. So let's say I have, I think this is example 4. Not sure, 4 or 3. Anyway, x to the power of 4 minus x cubed equal 2x plus 4. We are going to follow the steps. I cannot solve while I have two sides terms like this. I must have a 0 in one side. So I will move this from this side to that side. So it will be x to the power of 4 minus x cubed minus 2x minus 4 equals 0. Now, if I try to factor by grouping, it will not going to work because I will end up with x minus 1 and here x plus 2. So it will not going to work factoring by grouping. So I have to use the long way of factoring. I will get all the possible values for b over a, which are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4. Then I will try them one by one until I get 0. So let's try f of 1. F of 1 is 1 to the power of 4 minus 1 cubed minus 2 times 1 minus 4. And that doesn't equal 0 because it's 1 minus 1, that is 0. Here negative 6, so that doesn't equal 0. Let's try f of negative 1. We will talk, so that's negative 1 to the power of 4 minus negative 1 to the power of 3 minus 2 times negative 1 minus 4, and this equals 1 plus 1, that's 2, plus 2, that's 4 minus 4 is 0, so yes, this makes it a 0. That means x plus 1 is a factor. Now I need to find the other factors, so I need to find the quotient after I do synthetic division. So I will do synthetic division in here. I will put the value that makes the factor 0, so negative 1. Then I put all the coefficients of the x's, and I have to fill in, again, I want to remind you all the time, don't forget that you are missing x squared here, so we fill in for it by 0. So we're going to put 1, negative 1, 0, negative 2, and negative 4. The 1 goes down, negative 1, negative 2, so we're going to have 2, 2, that is negative 2, so that's negative 4, multiply, we get 4, we add, we get 0. So now we can write this function as x plus 1 times x cubed minus 2x squared plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. Because this is a fourth degree and divided by first degree polynomial, so the result and the quotient, or the quotient, has to be third degree polynomial. Alright, now we are trying to, we still need to factor this. So I will try to factor this by grouping. So x plus 1 stay as it is. Now here I will group these two together. And that will be x squared out, and that will leave x minus 2. And here I will factor the 2 out, and that will leave x minus 2, and that's equal 0. Then I will go here. As you see, x minus 2 is common. So we are going to have x plus 1, x minus 2, and x plus x squared plus 2, and that's equal 0. You know, I factored x minus 2 out from here, and that leaves x squared plus 2. Okay, now I need to find the value of x. I need to solve each one of these factors. So x plus 1 equals 0, that means x equals negative 1. X minus 2 equals 0, that means x equals 2. X squared plus 2 equals 0, that means x squared equals negative 2. That means x equals plus or minus square root of negative 2. There is no solution in here because I cannot find the real root for negative 2. So basically we have two zeros, one at negative 1 and the other at 2. And probably this will be something like some kind of no, should be starting here and ending there. So it has two unreal roots, one unreal root. So 1 and negative, sorry, yeah, 1 and 2. So it should be something like something like that. I'm just giving you a hint how it looks like, but that's not our concern. Our concern is to get those values, the solutions, and this has no solution. Okay, so this is how we solve polynomial equations, and I am done with this. I'm going to go over how to solve polynomial inequalities. So we're done with the equation. Now we are going to talk about solving polynomial inequalities. First of all, inequalities are those relations that involves those signs. This is what we are going to see in this lesson, solving polynomial inequalities. So, a very important note, when an inequality multiplied or divided by a negative value, we must flip the inequality sign. I'll explain this quickly. If we talk about this negative 2 and 6, which one is bigger? I think 6 is greater than negative 2. If we multiply this by negative 1 or divide by negative 1, we're going to get 2 here, and we're going to get negative 6 here. So which one is bigger is the 2. So when we multiply and divide by a negative number, we have to flip the inequality sign. So the greater than becomes less than and vice versa. Okay, this is just an important note. Put that in your mind. Okay, now I'm going to write the steps of solving inequalities. Steps. We must have a 0 on one side like solving equations. Have a 0 in one side. This is the first thing. The second thing, we factor completely. gonna find the zeros. So up to here, we are solving the equation. Find the zeros. Then the last thing, we make a line chart and test for positive and negative intervals. Between the zeros. So we're going to test the intervals between the zeros. Then the last thing, we're going to write the solution. Write the required intervals. Those are the solutions. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example now. Alright, so let's solve some examples. So example 1, solve x plus 3 times 2x minus 3 greater than 0. So we need to solve, this is an inequality because we have this sign. And we need to follow the steps. We must have a 0 on one side. Yes, we do. The second thing, we need to factor completely. It is given to us factored already, so we don't need to do the second step. Third step, we need to find the zeros. Here, zeros are at x equal negative 3 and x equal 3 over 2. Those are the two zeros. So we make a line chart like this, and we put the two zeros. So one is at negative 3, and the other one is 3 over 2, which is 1.5. And we need to test each interval. What do we mean by testing each interval? I know that in here the function is 0. The y is 0, here and there. Because x at x equal negative 3, this will be 0, at x equal 3 over 2, this will be 0. I need to know before that and after that. Is the function positive or negative? So all I'm caring about is to know the sign of the function. So I'll choose any value in this interval, less than negative 3. Any value you like. So let's say negative 5. If I put negative 5 here for x, I will get negative, so negative 5 plus 3, it will be negative 2. So I will have a negative in here. And if I put negative 5 in here, I will have also a negative value because I will have a negative 10 minus 3, that's negative 13. So negative times negative, so at the end, I will end up with a positive. So this whole interval is positive, and there is no other place the function will change the sign because there is no other 0 in here. Okay? So, negative, I have to stop. I will continue in the next video.